Covers can say a lot about a book, and sometimes they're saying too much. What the heck? We're looking at some of the most problematic cover designs. And trust me, you'll want to stick around. Warning, we're going to be talking about a lot of different topics, which some viewers may find sensitive. Thank you to Surfshock for sponsoring this video. First on the list, let's lighten the mood with a murder trial. This is O.J. Simpson's If I Did It. O.J. Simpson is a former American football player, and he was also involved in one of the most debated and controversial criminal cases in US history. He was tried and acquitted for the murders of his ex-wife and her friend Ronald Goldman. O.J. Simpson describes a hypothetical description of the murders. How would he do it? Obviously, this was incredibly controversial, and so all the copies were recalled. So the family of one of the victims, the Goldmans, were awarded rights to the book because basically they were owed a lot of money. They arranged to publish it under the new title, I Did It, Confessions of a Killer. Oh wait, no, that's If I Did It. So the design kind of hides the if. The next problematic design is basically 99.9% of Lolita covers. I've already covered this in my previous video if you want to see more, but basically Lolita throughout history has been horribly misrepresented by the publishing industry, and even the author said, I don't want girls on the cover, because he knew what the publishing industry would do. Guess what the title is? I know it's not The Piano Predator, Creepy Mr. Bean X Simon Cowell. 3, 2, 1, it's easy to play classical themes. This whole cover is giving prison. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe I'm 12. Kicking with poo. Author, I'm gonna be absorbing so many nutrients. You should collab with Minnie from The Help. Believe it or not, Sarah J. Maas is in some hot waters, and it's not for the fact that she basically overuses the term my watery bowels and he or she bark. She's involved in controversy because they used AI. Bloomsbury, you got money, so why did you not pay an illustrator and instead use AI? They did try to defend it and say that, oh, they weren't aware that it was AI. One of the rules for Adobe stock photo AI generated images is that
content must be clearly labeled as AI generated, and contributors must review the terms of any generative AI to ensure that they have, quote, all the necessary right. But the field of AI copyright is muddy, untested territory.
Ban books. I think America's been having too much fructose corn syrup. Maybe it's messing with the chemicals in their brain, but there's been a bit of a rampage of banning recently. Ban any book that they deem offensive or inappropriate. Let's take a look at what that actually entails. Yeah, so the existence of minorities and queer people. Let's take a look at some of the examples. The vast majority of books that are being challenged are YA. In an age where we have increasingly unnecessarily banned books, blocked news, and other forms of media imperative to the foundation and structures of our society, it's so important to have private and secure ways to access information. Maybe by using a VPN, like Surfshark, who is a sponsor of this video. If this is you, you know, you're sitting in Starbucks having paid £5 for a coffee to use the free Wi-Fi for 6 hours. Or maybe you're writing the next groundbreaking Pride and Prejudice. The free public Wi-Fi you're using in Starbucks is unencrypted, meaning that designing a horrible cover isn't the only threat that you need to worry about. Surfshark's VPN will encrypt all of the information between your device and the internet. This keeps your personal data, which really should be kept personal, protected from cyber criminals. Maybe you just want to watch shows that your country doesn't have access to, so you swap the location of your device by connecting to a VPN in New York, because that's the only way that you feel like you'll be able to afford travel. Unlike these covers, which are out there forever, Surfshark has a 30-day money-back guarantee. And because we all like free stuff, if you use my code itsdivya, you can get an extra 3 months free. The link to redeem this is in the description. You get an extra 3 months free, and I get maybe the chance to travel to New York one day, or any country really. A lot of what we would consider classics have been challenged all around the world for various reasons. One example is The Handmaid's Tale, the dystopic totalitarian patriarchal society where women are subjugated, fertility is controlled. So covers send a message. That's like their primary purpose. Take a look at this 2005 French version. The book's set in a society that has very extreme sort of fundamentalist Christian ideas. But you could argue that it's just meant to be like, you know, nun-like imagery. There's no other connotations to this. You could also just have a little bit of critical thinking. We're talking about France. That's why I find this treatment of The Handmaid's Tale very... To me, there's a giving raunchy 1980s DVD, which is what I'm sure Margaret Atwood was intending. It reminds me of the controversy surrounding this dress.
An upsetting dystopian future has emerged where women no longer have a say. However, we say be bold, featuring a mini dress, a matching cloak with an attached hood, and a white bonnet headpiece. Pantyhose not included.
You what, mate? The Brothers Karamazov. Classic Russian literature exploring the themes of morality, spirituality, family. An Italian university tried to ban this book because the author is Russian. Divya, why is this problematic? Like, who is that guy? He's a Ukrainian poet. I found more versions for this book, and I found one cover that was possibly one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen. This is the brothers. Siblings or dating? If you didn't know, this is 2014. Marcus Butler's Russian twins. Marcus Buturlin. Believe it or not, there's more. What? Here we've got Troye Sivan. This is Jane Eyre Bender. Let it go, let it go. Let Bertha Rochester go. From the attic that you've locked her in. You won't believe what else America has banned. I give you Charlotte's Web. Bro, if they think Charlotte's Web is bad, Alvin and the Chipmunks are gonna give them a heart attack. They also took offense at the fact that the spider dies. In England, a school teacher thought that they're gonna ban Charlotte's Web because they thought that the book might be offensive to Muslim students. When you read Charlotte's Web, it's not like 4D cinema. Yeah, you don't just start tasting BLT. The next one is so ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. And one of the Alabama State Textbook Committee members said that the book was a real downer. Do I have some news for you about history? In the UK, I remember this being like required reading in like year 6. I think it's so important to learn about history so we can not repeat the same mistakes of history and actually have empathy for people. And I think this is one of very vital and important stories, and banning it because it's sad. They tried to ban Captain Underpants. Captain Underpants is on the top of the most banned books in America in 2012 for various reasons. Offensive language is gonna encourage disruptive behavior, apparently. There was a gay character. The only one that I think is appropriate is the fact that there was kind of racist stuff in one of them. These parents would not survive in England, bro. Because I remember growing up, we had Prank Patrol, where the whole purpose of that was a man and some ninjas help a young child set up an elaborate prank on their best friend. Okay, so this next one, you will not believe it, but it is genuinely real. They tried to ban the dictionary because it was too graphic. And then we're going to talk about books that are literally just racism. Sci-fi and fantasy is a genre that is notorious for whitewashing. Not just in literature, but like every medium ever. It's like, I can suspend belief for a plot hole, riddle, time-traveling alien, but non-white people. An example of this is the Russian cover of The Throne of Fire by Rick Riordan. This is Carter and Sadie, their siblings. Carter is described as having dark brown skin. Riordan did complain about this, and thankfully they did change it. And publishing houses speak all sorts of reasons why their whitewash cover is quoting, oh, but it won't sell as well. But it's also like, are you also giving it the chance to sell as well? Are you also putting the marketing behind it to sell as well? Because people aren't gonna read what they don't know exists. Oh, white people won't be able to read it. But then why do you also expect the opposite of that to be true? I don't think you need to even relate to everything that you read, and I think that's kind of the point of reading. It's really about expanding your empathy, your critical understanding of the world, your own viewpoint. Another sci-fi example is Dawn by Octavia Butler. So this is the lady who has been whitewashed. Someone commented and they said this was a white Sigourney Weaver, and I was like, true. And it took them 10 years to correct the mistake. And in publishing, they just keep displacing people in favor of, quote, marketability. Another way that people try to get past putting brown and black people on covers is, oh, let's just turn them into an animal. Now, where have I seen this whole, you know, dodge the issue of depicting race by having them turn into an animal for like most of the movie? Last time we saw Mao's Little Women, I have a cover which is even worse. The excuse in the publishing industry is like, oh, it's not gonna sell, it's not gonna sell. And in recent years, that narrative has done a complete flip around. And Barnes & Noble said, what if we take a book about white people written by white people and put a quote-unquote diverse cover on the top to fix all problems of race? To me, this is so insidious because it's like they're trying to do something good. It's like when companies are like, come join us, we're so diverse, and they get the photographer to kind of hunt the one ethnic minority and they blast them on the hiring page of their website to be like, you'll be fine here. And then minorities just become a commercial asset to them. And another reason, just to highlight why this is really unfortunate, is the fact that for ethnic minorities, it's like really hard to get published in the first place. I don't know how to transition smoothly from that, but we can't have one of these videos without abs! This is Robinson Crusoe. Symbolism on this, like the tattoo of the cruise ship. Impeccable. Guess what book this is? You know I can't do it to you. We can't have a video without Pride and Prejudice. This cover, Bridgerton worthy. Thank you to everyone for your suggestions and influencing this video. Influence the next.